Hop straight into it?
Yeah, if it was 5 years ago, I'd be like, oh my god, what's wrong? But now I'm like, pretty streamlined.
Bro, with that being said, though, hopping right into it, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ayo Chill podcast. Today in the stew, I got for you a crazy guest. He is a musician, rapper, performer. I think also a little bit, like, I guess artist is a really broad term anyway.
Producer, right? Editor.
But my boy, take a couple seconds, minutes, introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, what's going on in the free world? My name is Reg Mason. I am, as you said before, artist, record producer, frontman for New Jersey collective Vibe World Order, CEO of Vibe World Order. What else? What else we doing? And we gonna get into a whole bunch of other stuff. And really excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, dude, it's a pleasure, dude. I think from the first day that I met you and saw your shit, you know what I mean? Like, you actually came here to the studio and recorded your NPR Tiny Desk concert, I guess, what do you call it? Audition tape, right?
Yeah, right where we're sitting. This is where we did it.
It's insane. It's insane. And that was right before we even got anything in the studio. Like, it was mad new. Everything was empty. But you guys came in here, did your thing, and it's crazy because now I think during June is going to be like a regular thing that we do for other artists.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't be here during the open house when you guys officially opened up the studio, but I remember being here like 3-4 months ago when it was like very little here. Like, I think all that was in this room was like this TV stand and like the carpet or like a rug or whatever. But even then, like back then, I was like, yo, this is going to be something really important for like the community. So I'm glad to be here.
I definitely appreciate it. You know, we all here at Glower appreciate you. But dude, I just kind of want to jump into it, dude. I kind of want to get to know where exactly you're from and like where you grew up.
Yeah. Well, I was born and raised in Union, New Jersey. My whole life. Still live there now, but I'm making my way, transitioning out of that really very soon. But I've also lived in Hillside, New Jersey for a really long time, like 10 to 15 years, because I was raised in like a dual household. So like my mom would be in one neighborhood, my dad would be in another or whatever. So Union my whole life with my mom. And then Hillside with my dad for like 10, 15 years. Then I was in Orange for a while too. But for the most part, like whenever people ask me where I'm from, I say Union, New Jersey, small town.
Word. And how was it like growing up over there? What's the culture like?
A lot of people say it's boring. I mean, it's kind of it's a place where it's like you make your own fun and stuff like that. And it's like all the places to be at are kind of like right there too. So it's like Irvington, 5 minutes down the street. Newark, 10 minutes, 15 maybe with traffic down the street or whatever. And then New York, 20, 25.
Word. I actually feel like you're in a lucky place because I feel like when you talk about a lot of towns around there, like, I mean, you hear Union. I hear Union pretty often, and people talking about it. But you also around like that area, Irvington, Newark, where like things be popping off. And I think it's great when you live in a town that's easily accessible to many other like places as well, and it's not too busy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people are passing through Union whenever they talk about it and stuff. I like Union because it's just very diverse, and like you could really run into anybody over there. It's not like, say if I said like, oh yeah, I'm from Westfield or Clark or something like that, where it's like, oh, okay, you're like closed off from the world.
Word.
And stuff like that. Union, you can step out and see basically anything. It's like you'll be in one suburb, and then 2 streets down the block, you'll be like in the hood, and there'll be like a KFC like right in front of your face. So,
Word.
Yeah, I like that about Union.
So tell me a little bit about your background, bro.
Well, what you mean in particular, like music,
ethnicity, where your parents originally from?
Okay, well, just straight up black, like descendant from like great parents were slaves, and then it was my grandparents, then my parents, and then me, and stuff like that. So it's like weird thing about being from like my background is that we don't really know, so we're just like, you know what? We just gonna stick to this umbrella, and if some shit pops up within the next 5 years, and it turns out we're all fucking, I don't know, Panamanian, that'd be great, So that's still pending. But yeah, like all black. My dad grew up in pretty sure he was from Newark too. Then he moved over to Orange for a while, if I'm not mistaken. And then my grandparents, they decided that they wanted to just move down to Florida out of the blue. And then they told my dad, all right, look, you're either coming with us or we're leaving you. And then I guess my dad didn't make his decision quick enough because it was like on some like 48 hours notice type shit.
Damn.
So it's like by the time I think he was out in college by then. So it's like he was coming back home, and then he came home to an empty fucking house. He was like, "Yo, where is everyone?" And then called them up, and then my grandmother was like, "Yo, we in Florida.
That's
Where you at?"
crazy, bro. If that shit happened to me, bro, I don't even know what the fuck I do, bro.
Yeah, and then my mom, born and raised in Newark, straight from Brick City, and then she had my older brother Les, who goes by Comfortable Dude. Yeah, he's a record producer. We've been making music together over the years and stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, after Newark, they moved down to Irvington, spent a little bit of time at Piscataway. This is all before I was born.
Word.
And then by the time that I was born, my mom met my father, and we settled in Union by then. Yeah, and then that's kind of how it all came to be. I was put into this world, and then yeah, started
Yeah, dude,
raising
nah.
hell.
Nah, respect. So, like, when did you realize that you started, like, really getting into music, or actually, better said, how did you even get started, like, making music?
That comes directly from two people. One, my older brother, Les. He was heavy in the hardcore scene back then. So it's like he was always playing shows. Even as far back as I could remember, we would be over at his best friend Matt's house, like Matt Cottrell, and we would just hang out at his place. They were all about just rock, heavy shit, metal, like you just play whatever. They'd be playing. I don't want to say the wrong name because I don't want to get a call like 2 weeks from now and being like, bro, we did not fucking listen to that. What are you talking about? But like, yeah, like I would just watch them play a bunch of shows and open mics over the years and stuff like that, and then that made me be like, oh well, I would love to be in a band. So I started getting heavy and like doing my homework as far as like rock music, the origins of rock, where that comes from. And like even though they were more into like the hardcore, deathcore, metalcore, like all that other stuff, like I was just like, you know what? It's all the same to me. It's all the same umbrella. And then I started I remember the first band that I like really, really gave a shit about was probably Green Day. I'll say.
Word?
Yeah.
Yo, actually, I had the same way, dude. I'll never forget. I was sitting in front of my TV and MTV was on, and then it was, do you have the time to listen to me whine, bro? And after that, it was done for me, bro. Like I was a Green Day fan to the death, bro. That's crazy. That's dope. So, but it's actually wild because most of your music now, especially more recently, has been, I guess you could call it more like R&B, hip hop, a little bit experimental. I mean, but you did have that one. I forget the name of the song, but it was like really rocky as well. Like it had a lot of like electric guitar in it.
Probably. I mean, I don't know. It's that transition came through a little bit later in my life, like me getting more into hip hop. But I'll definitely say that for a long time, I really wanted to be in a band, like as far back as I could remember. But growing up in Union, it didn't really make sense to be in a band because like with the advancement of technology and like garage band and all this other stuff, it's just like, why the hell would I, like chase down like three other dudes or women or whatever to be in a band when I could just be the band.
Word. Nah,
like
I
with
feel
a laptop.
that. So what's the age difference between you and your brother?
7 years.
Damn. So he's like, so he already been in it when you already started like going through it.
Oh yeah, like when he was 15 playing shows at like the Meat Locker, like I was still
we talked about this. Yeah.
I was still learning my times tables and stuff. So yeah, like he'd be on his way out. I'd be like, oh yeah, what show are you doing? Like where are you performing at? He'll be like, oh yeah, some church in like PA or some shit like that. He's like, yeah, I'll be home. I'll be back home at like 3 a.m. And like we both got school the next day type time.
Yeah,
So.
dude, that's sick. That's sick. So like, when was the first time you actually like started to put together your own music?
It was probably the first time I ever wrote a song. I was 10, like over acoustic guitar. It was terrible. It was called Surround Sound.
Yeah. Do you remember any of the
I
lyrics?
still remember the melody. It was like, I just wanna be in town. Got the surround sound or some shit like that. And
No, fuck it, bro. That's
yeah,
sick.
and then
Is it up on YouTube or anywhere?
oh hell no, I didn't own any recording equipment. The only reason I remember that melody a lot is because I'm pretty sure I like stole that melody or like chord progression from whatever My Chemical Romance song I was digging that week.
Dude, you into My Chemical Romance?
Oh yeah, I mean they're Jersey royalty.
Yeah,
like-
yeah, of course,
like,
dude, of
yeah,
course.
love them.
That's crazy because I don't even meet too many people who are like, actually, nah. If you're an MCR fan, I feel like you're proud. You know what I mean? Like you're loud and proud about it. But I feel like, especially when you're looking at like the hip hop community or like anybody else who's on R&B, you know what I mean? They're like, yo, MCR. Oh, you're probably like a Fall Out Boy kid, and it's like, yo.
And Fall Out Boy's sick too in their
Yeah,
own way.
I'll be like, listen, your assumption is right, but like, fuck. I mean, like, I like all different types of music, and literally rock. I feel like is the same thing. Like, I kind of started out with too, like 80s, 70s, and rock. That's what I really fell in love with growing up too, man.
I got deep into like rock music way before hip hop. Like I started like really having a true affection for hip hop because me just being like black and like my environment, it was all around me. So I kind of knew that like I was gonna eventually like come back around to that anyway. So I like really made it like a conscious decision to like get into all the weird shit now so that by the time that I make my way to hip hop, my sound palette will be so separate from like what everybody else is doing that like I could just be coasting from there. Like I think it would be way more difficult, at least speaking from this perspective, if I listened to nothing but hip hop up until like age 13. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I should just listen to like a bunch of rock bands and stuff. I feel like I would have been more stuck in my ways in like a weird way. While like back then, like listening to like everything from, I could be listening to Death Grips all the way to fucking B-52s or whatever. Like it's just a wide, I don't know. It just inspired me to like really be like broaden my taste. And that's not to say that hip hop can't be, wide in terms of like what it offers too. It's just that from a youngster's perspective, you only really listen to what you were given.
Word.
And what I was given at the time was like, Bling era shit, like 50 Cent, Busta Rhymes, Break It.
Yeah,
Type shit. So I was like, all right, well, this is gonna be it forever. I'm gonna just find all the weird shit that I would never find under like any other circumstance. So yeah, I really leaned heavy into rock around that time.
And you think this like early upbringing of like rock and other weird type of music, like it's really built yourself as a musician?
Oh yeah, 110%. Like the type of like the way that I hear songs and like think of time signatures in my head is like completely separate from like a lot of my peers and contemporaries and stuff. Like a lot of times it's like you only pull from what you know. So when I could be writing a rap record, like I have a totally different, like just plays with a different time signature, but I could come back to like my group with an idea and they'll be like, how the hell do you even, what is this in 3/4? Like, like who do you know that raps in like 3/4 beats or 5/4 beats or just I'm really into like seeing what's happening in front of me and somehow fucking it up and making it into a little Frankenstein thing and like giving it its own spin. Like it's easy to make music that's familiar, but it's also easy to make music that's like surreal and super duper experimental, but nobody feels it. But the real challenge is giving something that's familiar, but then giving it those 2 notches to the left or 2 notches to the right that makes it, different. Give the audience what they want, but in a different way that they can't expect. So that's what I like to dabble in.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. And also, like you said, it is very hard to make music that's experimental and also make it like to a point where people could vibe out to it, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's the most difficult thing. I actually wrote music too. I've been out of the game of writing music for a little bit now because I've mainly focused on the podcast and everything.
Yeah.
But I think with all the artists that I see, and especially like going to perform, and I think it's a testament, you know, what you just said is a testament to, you know, what you're doing right now. I feel like your creativity, like, I've just been feeling the vibe a lot recently. You know what I mean? Especially with what you do, and even like the most recent post you put up with the cartoon figure of yourself too. How did that come about?
So that piece was done by the homie Stigel, he goes by. And he's done a lot of graphic design work for Vibe Board Order, our collective. And I hit him up. I was like, yo, I want to do something that's kind of like Pharrell's In My Mind, but not at all at the exact same time.
Yeah, what an easy, you know, ask
Yeah.
for a graphic designer.
So I had like a damn tissue roll with no tissue on it or whatever. And I was at my job at the time, and I was drawing like a stick figure, like a puffy stick figure with a balloon, like a checkerboarded balloon. And it was kind of like standing still, like Pharrell's In My Mind cover. And I was just like, hey, do you think you could take this, but do it in your art style? And like the checkerboarded balloon is like the pattern for my EP or album Speedway and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, I want to make something that celebrates the year anniversary of that, which is actually today.
Oh shit, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah, I released it a year ago exactly today.
So how does that feel now, being a year looking back at your music? Because we were just talking about this before off cam.
Honestly, it feels pretty cool because I've had so many starts and stops and starts and stops. Like, it's my first project that I can honestly say, like, wholeheartedly, like, front to back, I'm proud of, and I put my all into it, like, within this specific era. I just got to get just a couple more things ironed out for it before I can really move on to the next record, which is also done, by the way.
Oh, you have a whole other project that's done?
Yeah, it's done. Like, it's
Like, we talking like recording done, or we talking like writing done, or like completely like...
It's recorded, written, basically mixed, basically mastered. I just have to finish the rest of, you know, the Speedway era, and then and I'm just instantly off to the races for the next one. So
talk to me about this process you got, because I don't want to rush too much forward, you know, before we get to some of these basic building blocks that you've built so far. Okay. So when was the first project you ever released? Like, either like big first single, or like, you know, the thing that was like, all right, I'm Reg Mason, this is me, this is where I start.
Oh man, we want to go down the discography. People who've been there forever gonna love this. So I released a mixtape when I was 16. It was called We Could Never Play Easy, and it came out, I think I remember the exact date, December 10th, 2015. That was my first project as a whole. My very first song that was ever released, it was called Pearls, and that came out Valentine's Day of that same year, 2015. And I wrote it about some girl that, like, I was really into, and, like, we had history at the time. Well, like, middle school, like, early high school
back
history,
then,
whatever
bro,
the hell you want
it
to call
hits hard, bro. Like, I cried for like weeks over a girl, like, back then. You know what
Honestly,
I mean?
yeah. Low-key crying on the mic at the time. But, like, yeah, it was just some girl that, like, I was, like, really into at the time, and I made that record about her. And
y'all chill now, or is it like,
bro? Hell no. Hell no. But not like I wrote that record. I was like 15 at the time. Then I maneuvered over to We Could Never Play Easy, which was the whole tape. And I was really into romance at the time. Like, it was kind of crazy. It was basically like what I did with that first song, Pearls, but then, like, if you, like, just ballooned it up to like 12 tracks and stuff. I talked a lot about, like, teen angst and, like, not knowing where I was going, And then I just found a way to like wrap it up into one whole bow. I was really proud of that project at the time, even though I was still in mad beats. But it was SoundCloud beats though.
It's how, bro. That's how I feel like. That's how you start off as an artist, bro. It just happens sometimes, you know. And
I did work one. I did work one beat in there though. I'm pretty sure that I made myself, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I was bugging out.
And now looking back at that project, like, do you? I mean, I know it's when you were like, you know, younger and stuff, but like, you I feel like you know, you're finding your voice, and like, you know, you talked about, you said you started writing your first song at what, 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, where did you feel you were in your process of making music? Like, what does that look like for you now, comparative then to now?
Well, when I really sit back and think about it, back then, making music to me, I didn't really care for being inside of a studio. I just wanted to have the equipment so I could just go and stuff like that. Even now, it's like I can count on like one hand how many times I've been in like a professional studio or whatever. I don't know. Like, I just really like the feeling of isolation and being separate from the world, so I could just do my thing, you know. I think that's what it's really about, just being able to have that space and privacy to say what I want in confidence out. I feel like that's the most important piece to, like, at least for my artistry, because I'm so used to, at least back then, when I was making those mixtapes and stuff like that when I was 15, I only had like 2 hours to record, because, you know, I would get out of school at like 2:45, knowing damn well that my mom's gonna be home at 5 or 5:30. So I would write the songs at school with the beat already locked in, and then I would rush home and then just do, and then by the time that I'm on my last take, mom's busting through the door. I gotta shut everything down. So it's like I'm like really quick with it. So that was making music for me.
And was it like really just shutting everything down because, you know, you needed that privacy and isolation, or was it more like too like you didn't want her to peep what you were doing?
Honestly, both. Like,
Yeah.
my mom actually is really supportive of my music career and stuff. She comes to every show, as many shows as she can come to. And as far back as I can remember, she always was like, yo, you're gonna be something really special. You're talented, but you gotta stay on the grind and make sure that you have something to say every single time you put something out, and make sure that it's not just for the people, but for you too.
Yeah. That's great advice. No, that's great advice, dude.
Yeah, she's awesome.
So what does your so when was it that you first decided, like, hey, I'm gonna do this full time and pursue this like as my life goal?
Oh, when I was 10.
When you were 10?
Yeah, I was like, no college, none of that. I didn't take a single SAT. I didn't do a single college tour. I knew back then. I was like, this is for me. Honestly, even earlier than that. It's gonna sound really nuts, but the first time I watched School of Rock,
That's crazy.
when I was like 4.
Dude, I feel like we could relate in a lot of, like, you're actually like kind of scared me right now on how much things like I could relate to, bro. School of Rock, I feel like changed my life too, bro. When I saw that and I saw like all these little kids playing the instruments and just like watching, it's like just the process of the whole movie, watching this guy kind of like get kicked out of his band, kind of give up his dream, then get a second chance with these kids. I mean, it's a classic, I think, to any musician who watches that, you know?
Yeah, and it's like it's about him finding purpose.
Yeah.
In life, you know, just like going from zero to hero. And I don't know. My dad really fucked up buying that DVD for me, because like he's like, at least he's cool now, but like back then he's like a very old fashioned guy, because he's the first Mason in our entire family tree to go and graduate from college.
Word.
So he instilled it in me very young, like, yo, education, education, education. But I'm like 4 years old with my eyes glued to the TV screen. I'm watching Jack Black rip this fucking guitar. I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to. What? Mm-hmm. What? Mm-hmm. Versity? Hell no, I'm good.
So did you? So when you're in high school and stuff, did you have any plans, or did they want you to at least go to community or anything, or did you end up going at least like a year or a couple months or nothing?
I didn't take a single tour. I didn't do a single SAT test. I didn't take a single class. I just knew. It's just one of those things where it's like, back then, even the word college gave me so much anxiety that I knew it wasn't for me. Yeah, it's just like, even if, like, because I was dating somebody who was like really about that whole, like, I can't wait to get it out of this town. I can't wait to do all this, that, and the third and go to college. And then it would just worry me so much because it's like everybody's so fixated on the one thing that I couldn't care less about, but nobody really has any space for the thing that I feel I was put on this earth to do. And it's like every time I bring it up, it was always pushback. So yeah, even back then I knew like it wasn't for me.
So you're 18, you're a senior in high school. Like, what were your plans immediately after graduation?
Work to support and invest in my music career.
Where were you working?
Oh man,
Or what have you worked?
I was a cart pusher at Costco
Word.
for like 6 weeks, and then I kept coming in real late because I was working on music.
Classic.
Yeah, Amazon seasonal, did some seasonal work at Amazon, and then I think they asked me to extend, and then I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, I'll see what's good with that. So I got upgraded to full time. Then I abandoned the job because I wanted to go to this injury reserve show. Yo, you see a pattern where it's like, yo, music over everything. I don't fucking care. Like, this is so temporary for me. Like, I was like, nah, music is forever. And then, what else? The one job that I did hold down that was really cool. I was a driver at Enterprise. I was basically like Jason Statham transporter in the suit. They would give me cars of like multiple different conditions. You know, some of them would be brand new Beamers. Some of them would be ran down Corollas or some shit like that. But either way, you know, take it from A to B, and I could listen to my new mixes in there, bumping it. So that was the only job that I had where it was like, okay, me being here makes sense. Everything else is just like whatever.
That's sick, dude. So did you work anything else besides that?
That's basically. I mean, now I like do freelance work, like for other artists and stuff to help them get to, you know, make the record that they want and stuff.
So now today it's full-time music though, or do you have to do anything else to kind of pay the bills at all?
It's like 80% music and like 20% like miscellaneous random one-time gigs that people need me to do for them.
Yeah, I feel that for sure.
Yeah, it's like random stuff here and there. But for the most part, like my 100% focus is music.
Word. So now that you like, you know, you're working these jobs out of high school and everything, when was like the first, I guess you could call it, successful project that came out for you?
Solo or like just like in general, like even with like
Whatever came first.
I think the first like genuinely successful project for me, honestly, was probably this one, Speedway, because I released a couple other projects beforehand. I released my first album, Dayton Convoy, it was called. I released that like maybe a week before I graduated high school. And the only reason why I put it out was because I wanted the bragging rights to say, yeah, I'm a high schooler and I released a whole album. Nobody around me doing that.
I mean, that's what's up though. I mean, that's something to be proud about. I think anytime you release a project or a song, people don't realize the work and like, you know, heart it takes to put something out like that.
I did all the production front to back too. Like nobody contributed anything on the production. I was really determined to be like, yo, I'm capable of doing this. If I don't do this now, I'm probably never gonna do it. So it's like I didn't want to be on like my first album at like, I don't know, at 20 or something like that. I felt like, and I still had like that youthful urgency. Now it's kind of, it's like up and down airship, but I had the urgency in my youth to be like, nah, I'm gonna just, or whatever. And for like basically that whole school year, I worked on that album. I dropped it. It did whatever. Then the next year, I dropped.
We ain't gonna talk about it. We ain't gonna talk about it.
Then I dropped another project called Pop Songs. I'm not gonna say the entire title because it's kind of wild. But I called it Pop Songs.
I mean, I'll probably look it up later.
Hey, y'all can look it up, do whatever, do it at your own discretion. But the second album was called Pop Songs, and it was way more aggressive, way more. If I could compare it to anything, it's kind of like that internet culture energy of like Childish Gambino's Camp.
Okay.
And mixed with the aggression of like Tyler the Creator's Goblin.
Ah, I get where you're going.
And it was just very like fuck the world and all this other stuff, and like just making a lot of songs on a lot of topics that now I wouldn't even dream of touching, I guess. But it's like, I will say about that project in particular, though, it did inform me individually of like the extremes that I could go to under like certain circumstances within my artistry. And it actually informed me a lot on like where my head was at mentally, and even down to like who I am as a person. Like I was just like, oh wow, like I'm pretty angry sometimes, and shit like that. And then like now, I put it in bits and pieces of that concentrated anger or like just aggression in like certain records now, and that pops up in some of the songs on Speedway too.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I think as we get older, you know, you're still working on your craft. You get better at communicating what you feel, especially in like more artistic ways that are better. Like you look back at Tyler's album, and like I felt like I was really into it as like a 13, 14-year-old, and when I was younger, and when like, those feelings that you're going through, you want it just out there in your face and so simple, But now as I get older, seeing people, share their stories in it's not even more of a sophisticated way, but in a way that takes you through your emotions on a journey rather than just giving it to you straight to your face. Like I could appreciate that, because sometimes you just want to get wild, you know what I mean?
Yeah. There was no subtleness or nuance to like the records that I was making at that time. It's like the first album, Dayton, when I was like 17, like still a high schooler. I just made that for the sake of making it. I still had like personal stuff weaved into it, but overall, like it was a very bloated album. It was like 55 minutes.
Damn.
Time. Yeah, 17-year-old, like 55 minutes.
That's a long ass fucking album.
There was 2 7-minute songs in there.
7 minutes.
What
are you talking about for 7 minutes?
Nothing. It's the crazy. But yeah, it's like I was just feeling it. You know what I mean? It was like a jam session type thing. And then the second record, I was like, okay, we gonna make this mad smaller, but we gonna just hit them where it hurts. And then it's like, damn, I'm not really talking about anything in this neither. It's just like, yo, you know what? Maybe I should go out and live life. So then I didn't release music for like 3-4 years.
Damn. So what was happening in those 3 and 4 years?
Oh, I was living.
Oh, you were living?
I was living life.
Yeah, what were you doing? Oh, if you can't say, you can't say. It's all
good. I was going up in the archives real quick. I'm gonna just say it like this. I was in New York a lot for multiple reasons. When I was living with my dad over in Hillside during the pandemic, he would leave me the keys to the house. I would call up the boys, call them, and then over time, like I just knew it was just really important that like I gave myself the space to actually have something to talk about, because it's like you can't. What the hell are you gonna talk about at 17? like that happened. Like, I don't know. It's just like now I feel like there's just so much more that like I've been through, and I have more of a like my scope is wider, like how I like viewed the world because I went through those things, and now I see how I am under certain circumstances. While like when I was 17, 18, I just had to guess like how I would be under like certain situations or stuff. So it's like now I'm speaking from a place of hindsight as opposed to like, oh, I wonder what that would be like. I don't know. I'd probably do this or something. So it just feels better that like I have experiences under my belt and I gave myself that time to live, because it makes the work so much more meaningful for people who have been through that. It's not coming through like a filtered tap. Like I'm speaking from experience when I talk about certain things now. So yeah.
So where does at any point between these 4 years, because these 4 years you're talking about where you kind of just took a break, what ages was that from?
From 18 to like 22. Yeah, like 18, 22. I mean, around, it was like 3 to 4. Like, yeah, like around 3. Yeah, so like 18, 21, 22.
Yeah, I'm not hating on specifics, bro. In that area of time where you're just living your life, doing things, where does Vibe World Order fit into this? Did it happen after that, during? Because I know some of these guys, the rest of the group of Vibe World Order, they're all from around the area, right? From where
Yeah.
you're from.
Yeah. The majority of us are from Union. There's a couple that's well, one's from Irvington, and oh yeah. It's really just, well, we all say we're from Union anyway and stuff like that. But yeah, we all like went to the same high school together and stuff. Except for, I mean, well, technically, Les did go to the same high school, just not at the same time, because he's like the eldest of like all of us and stuff. But like that's how all of us like got together. Like I met Guinea. He was the first, like, I guess he was there before like all of this, before everyone. I met Guinea when I was 14. It was like my third day of high school at UHS, Union High School, and there was this dude who had this flat top, and he was talking about how Lauryn Hill was his godmother.
That's crazy.
He kept being like, "Hey, yo, bro!" Like I was walking into history class, and then I'm hearing this dude. He's like, "Yo, bro, you don't understand. Lauryn Hill is my godmother. Like, like I know her. Like I know where she be at, or whatever." And then I walk in, and then I'm like, "Oh, you look like you rap. I rap too. We should get some pizza and rap together. That sounds like a good idea, right?" And then he was like, "Yeah." And the first couple times, he was nowhere to be found. But after those couple of times, he was like, "You know what? Nah. I'm gonna link you. I'm gonna hit you up. We gonna write, and then just see what happens." And then over time, I would see him like every day, and we would come with like new bars, new raps. I'd be like, "Hey, yo, what you been rapping? All right, here's what I've been doing." And then like over time, next thing you know, damn near 10 years go by, and like he's still there. So like Guinea been there since the beginning, and then over time we befriended Groovy. I'm not gonna say his actual name. I don't know if he wants me to.
Can't be giving out governments out here, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. We befriended Groovy, and he had a large group of friends, and within that group of friends was also fellow member JTT, Almighty Hendrix. Tony was in there. Oh, oops. Stigel was in there. Stigel was somewhere in there as well. But like that's where the majority of the group came from. Like as soon as we became friends with Groovy, like he knew everybody. So we were just like, "Oh, all right." And then I started inviting them over to my place, because one of the things, saying it now sounds pretty weird, but like one of the ways that like my extension of friendship was like, if you came to my house, I had to get a recording of you in some way, shape, or fashion. Like I would do like a freestyle or something like that, because it was a place to like be creative. It was like a creative hub whenever like the parents weren't there. So how VWO really came together was that me, my older brother, and Guinea, we were all in this other collective called I'm not even gonna say his name. It doesn't fucking matter. But we was in this other collective, and
does that collective have any music that's still on the internet anyway? No. Listen, I know.
with us together, no. But it's like I give you a link or two.
Word.
But yeah, we were in this other collective, and it was cool for a little bit, but it wasn't. It became something that like none of us really envisioned for ourselves, so we broke apart from that. Then we made VWO before we even met like Groovy and all of them, and then we sat on that for like a year or 2 years or whatever. And then by that time, I was inviting everybody to my crib. And then over time, I made a beat. It was like 5 motherfuckers on it. And then we were like, oh, yo, this sounds kind of sweet. Let's kick this one guy off of it, though, because he sucks. But the rest of it, yo, this sounds kind of sweet.
Yo, that guy's still around at all? Or are they all...
He's around somewhere.
He's somewhere.
No, that's the homie. I like it.
Whoa.
He's the homie, but he just, you know. But
it's cutthroat out here, bro. Sometimes it's just like that. I get it. So you guys kicked them out the song, right? And then how does it move forward?
What's funny is that we dropped that song. That was our first official single, and that single is single-handedly responsible for us playing Afropunk. It was kind of crazy. We only had one song at the time.
So how does it grow from there? So then it's like, is it a weekly thing that y'all are just meeting up, or?
I mean, it was kind of like whenever somebody was always at my house. So it was like I was always making music. I didn't do anything else. And stuff. Everybody else was like going to school, getting their degree. But like me, I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to college and I don't feel like working right now, so I'm going to just do music. And we just stayed on it, stayed in touch. And then next thing you know, we get a call up from a label who was like, yo, we trying to do stuff. And then we was like, oh, damn, we trying to do stuff too. And then slid us the contract. I got the attorney. We was talking for a little bit, and then we got together and we made a record, like a full-blown album. And that was a very interesting experience. That's the word I'll use.
You know what? I'm gonna stop you right there, especially if we're talking about Vibe World Order, because I do plan to have Vibe World Order on the pod.
Yeah.
Hopefully for June in Jersey, the project that we're working on right now.
We coming with it.
If you trying to listen to more stories about Vibe World Order, definitely check in the end of the month for June, because that's when we're planning to have everybody on. But I want to get into a little bit about your songwriting process.
Let's go. I'm ready for this.
I think it's really important because everybody has such a different and unique approach to making music. You know what I mean? Rather, I listen to the beat and I let the music hear me, or I let the music tell me what to write. Or some people are like, oh, I write the lyrics down first and then I write the music around that. Or some people even have even crazier ways of going about it. Like, how do you feel like you go about it today?
I have two methods. Well, I have a couple methods, actually. Well, my usual method is that since usually whatever song it is I'm making, I produce, I write as I'm making the beat at the same time. So it's like a parallel thing where it's like I'll get the idea for the beat, I'll do it, and then I'll be like, all right, well, I don't want to make the beat and then spend another 2 hours sitting on my ass thinking of lyrics. So I'm going to just make the beat over here, write the lyrics over here, because I got the metronome in my head. So I'll be like, okay, da-da-da-da. So it's like that's like process number one, where it's a parallel thing, and I'll do them at the same time. Process number two, which I think is way more makes me be way more creative, is that I'll write to I call it a pulse, where it's like I'll get an idea for like a beat in my head, but the beat doesn't actually exist yet, and I won't be like by my equipment, because I'll like, I don't know, like that happened a lot while I was on tour with Hit Like a Girl and stuff like that. So I would just be in the van and I'd be like, damn, I can't make a beat. All right. And then I'll just rap to like a metronome in my head, like tick, tick, tick. This is how I would want the beat to sound. And then I'll just write a whole song to that pulse, make another song. I'll write to a completely different tempo or pulse in my head, and then da. I like writing in that way because it allows room for like input from a production standpoint, because it's like I could go to, there's this one record producer that I'm working with a lot now named Kurt. He's a good friend of ours. He's also from Union. I'll just go to him with like full songs already written, and then we'll just try to put that to like the best beat, or it's like a matchmaking thing at that point. Because it's like, I feel like that's way more exciting because the song is done, you know? Now you just have to find the best puzzle piece for it. So that's process number 2. And then I'd probably say process number 3, which is like a little volatile. It doesn't happen all that often. I'll do a one take from like fresh from like having like a really vivid dream. That actually happened on Speedway.
Word. Which song?
Mad at You, the interlude. I had a fucked up dream. There was this girl that like I used to talk to or whatever, and like she was kind of a dick.
Okay.
And like in the dream, like we weren't talking no more, but like in the dream, like I had a dream that like we were like, I don't know, like living together or like had like a family or some fucked up shit, and I was like, damn, that would really suck, cause you could. At that time, I was like, oh damn, like that would really suck if that happened, cause like you kind of suck. So I woke up from that, and I was like, oh hell no. I couldn't get near my equipment because I was still wiping the fucking crust out of my eyes. So I grabbed my phone and I put the voice memo on, and I immediately started just like saying how I was feeling out loud. And it just so happened to like some of it would rhyme, some of it wouldn't. But what was coming out of me was like ever flowing, like I really felt that way. And then I don't know why, like this urge that I got to record myself happened, but like even if you listen to Mad at You, the interlude, you could hear the exhaustion in my voice. Like as soon as you hear it, I'm like, oh, I'm so mad at you. And then over time, like I get more and more clear-headed, and I start speaking more like composed over time. And that was all one take. I did that in my kitchen, wearing nothing but a 5XL white tee. And just bend it over the fucking with my arm like this, being like, I'm so mad at you. I'm so mad at you. And then it turned into something. I sent that over to Curtis. That's actually the first thing that we worked on. And I was like, yo, can you play organs over this so I can sound like a pastor? And he was like, yeah. And then I did some vocal layers on top of it, and that ended up being the interlude. It wasn't even supposed to be on the EP either, but
I thought it was really creative. Actually, that's something I actually listened to like back today, this morning.
Really?
Before this. Yeah.
Yo, thank you. That's actually my favorite song on there.
Word. I feel like, you know what's funny? I feel like those raw emotions that come out are usually kind of like the best type of shit to put out. Because sometimes it's just like it's just exactly how you feel. I think the only song that I have out in my discography is actually like a breakup song I wrote like back in college. It's like 4 years ago, right? But I was writing music for a long time before that, and I really ended up releasing stuff with like my group after that. But even that song, I went through a breakup, and it was like the worst thing I ever went through, right? And it's like hard shit, right? And on the 7th day after the breakup, I had woke up in the morning, and I had a whole dream about like, you know, like the breakup, everything that happened. And I picked up my ukulele and I wrote the whole song in like, I think 3 minutes. Had the chords down, everything. Then literally, I was studying sound engineering, right? So I had the school studio, recorded a demo that day, and that was it. Like literally, and that's just how it goes by. And I didn't change one lyric, nothing, because it was just like everything that just comes out and pours out from the heart. So I deadass feel that when it comes to like demos and shit, putting like that shit out, especially coming from voice memos as well. You know,
it's crazy how the world works, because like when you're like really feeling something and it's like so raw and pure and unadulterated, it's like. No, it's like it was almost as if you were meant to have that bad experience, or you were meant to have that dream. And like I'm being optimistic about it, but it's like the way that I see it, like I felt like I didn't know that song was like the emotional center of that project until it was finished. because I think the only other song that I had to do after that was Babe, like which was the last song on the EP. And then I was like, oh wow, this is like a real project now. But I was just trying to release some songs, but it's like now it's like you could kind of pinpoint and like take out all these elements out of each song where it's like you get the petty side of Reg, you get the sorrowful side of Reg, you get the gleeful, angry, like all this other emotions. It's kind of the reason why it's 5 tracks is because I kind of wrote it. Well, I'm bullshitting. I didn't even really notice it until like afterwards, but it's like I was like, oh yeah, it could be like the 5 stages of like grief after like a breakup, because somebody doesn't need to die for you to like grieve over someone. Grieve is just unexpressed love.
No, dude, actually, it's crazy. I that breakup that I went through, that I wrote the song for, probably the worst pain I ever felt in my life. You know,
Yeah.
I lost my mom during the pandemic, and it's crazy
condolences.
because it's thank you, bro. And it's crazy how that breakup put me into such a crazy spiral, and it almost like restarted my life. And it actually made the podcast possible. It made what I'm doing today possible, and it made me reevaluate how I handle, you know, just life in general when things come at you. And then from there, it was like my rock bottom, you know. And I feel like not everybody needs to hit rock bottom, but in my life, that was like the lowest I think I could have ever been, because I was like, I went through a crazy period too. You know, I don't know if you've ever been like,
no.
yeah.
Pandemic? No. I'm telling you, 21st birthday, worst day of my life. I don't care what anybody says. That was like one of the worst days of my life.
Word?
Like, yeah, I was bugging out. Not gonna
Actually,
hold
I
you.
think my 21st was actually, dude, you need to stop being similar to me for a second. My 21st was actually crazy too, because my 21st was actually, I think 3 months after my breakup, right? And you know, I was just being stupid that day. I was waiting for a text. I was like, maybe she'll text me happy birthday.
Bro, I feel you. No, it really be like that sometimes. I get that.
So talk to me a little bit more about, you know, where you grab your inspiration from while doing all of this, especially like when it comes to your songs, when it comes to your writing process, like, and like how you keep it like fresh today.
Ooh, I mean, I grab my inspiration from a lot of different pieces. Honestly, I think the thing that gets me inspired the quickest is seeing people that I love doing what they love or doing something that I want to do. So it's like a lot of times if I'm trying to get emotionally, you know, amped up to like do a song or something, I'll just put on like a live performance. Like it could be I think one of my favorite live performances, at least in recent memory, is this band Turnstile. They put out an album called Glow On. That's one of the best albums, like hardcore punk albums that I've heard in like recent memory. And they did what do you call it? They did a release party and they did a performance for it. And there's this dude called Hate56. Shouts out to Sonny. He's also from Jersey. And he literally just like films bands all day. Like he just films bands performing like at festivals. He does like each single band. And I watched their performance, and it's one of the most inspiring like things in the world because they're a band that just has fun. They're not a bunch of neck beards with this long hair looking down at the ground screaming about how they hate the world. Like they're all mad approachable. They look cool. They know how to dress. But it's like they're just mad fun. You know what I mean? Like and they don't really care about like, oh yeah, no, this is hardcore and music's supposed to say, if your music doesn't sound like this, what hardcore sounds like to me, then you're not hardcore or anything like that. Like they just get on stage, rip that shit in half. They get 300 motherfuckers on stage with them, you know, fighting for the mic and all this other stuff. And it's just fun. So it's like, that's where I want to be. And that's where I'm going to be too. So it's like seeing that and then like envisioning it and manifesting that, like actively being like, okay, this is where I'm going to be. This is where I'm going to be. And then it just brings up something in me where it's like, okay, this is the next song. This is the next piece to me getting there.
So, you know, talking about not even caring about what other people say or what you know, putting you down.
Yeah.
Kind of like a two-parter question. Have you ever felt like giving up or like, you know, feeling like maybe your journey's not gonna end up where you want it to go?
Yeah, this past February.
Yeah, how
Honestly.
so? How was that?
It was right before I met Shane too, which is really funny. Cause I just got mad. I wouldn't even say depressed. I was just very unmotivated, you know? Cause it's like over the course of the past like year or two, it's like I got out of like a couple relationships. My music wasn't really doing anything for me. I was in this deal where it's like we weren't really getting as much out of it as we thought we were, but we still had to come through with a record. Nobody's really excited about what it is that we're doing anymore. Everybody seems like there's somewhere else that they'd rather be doing. You know, getting into fights with siblings, business partners, and like all this other stuff. So and then on top of that, I had to go on tour like after like doing all of that and putting all these records out and shit. So I was burned out. I was burned out for basically like all of February and stuff like that. And this was like right before I met the homie Shane because
Shout out Glower, by the way.
Yeah,
Big
out to
shout
Glower.
out Glower.
And yeah, like I was just really burned out. It's like I like lost one of my idols. He's not dead, but but like I just seen somebody that like I really looked up to like in life who was like, oh yeah, like this is all right. Like I want to be like this guy someday. I basically watched him just like regress and just become like the exact person that like I would never ever want to be. And it like really almost jeopardized a lot of what we were trying to do, you know, like is like VWO for me as an individual, as a person, as an artist. So it was just a lot happening at the same time and stuff like that. And I like almost lost my dad as well, like literally weeks before we were about to hand in the VWO record and stuff like that. So I was just taking each day at a time. I'm a very lax guy. So it's just like, it's almost like when bullshit happens, I'm just like, damn. All right, how we going to get out of this one?
Actually, dude, I vibe with you heavy with that statement too,
Yeah.
man. Take it day by day, and like, you know, however happens, and how it needs to play out, it plays out.
Yeah, I don't panic anymore because I always think about the worst case scenario, and the worst case scenario is never really that bad, honestly.
And you could always build out of it, you know?
Yeah, it's like, it's weird. It's like, for instance, some people, like, you know how certain people like get anxious whenever they're driving or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And like for certain people, like the worst case scenario is like, oh my gosh, what if my fucking car breaks down? But to me, I should be like, all right, if my car breaks down, call AAA.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do. And it's just always like certain people think about like, all right, like the isolated, contained, like, okay, what if this happened? It's just like, all right, well, if this happened, we're gonna go to this. Gonna go to A. And if we can't go to A, we go to B. So it's like, I don't know. I always like if there's a will, there's a way. Like
Big facts.
I'm always on to the next thing.
Big facts.
Stuff. It's all about solving whatever crisis it is that I'm in. And if sometimes one of a crisis that I went through recently was just in non-action, like just doing nothing, almost kind of let it like go away in some weird way. Like, have you ever heard of Taoism?
Nah, I haven't. Tell me about it.
If I'm not mistaken, I was actually just reading about this earlier this morning while I was taking a shit. And Taoism, I think it's like this ideology or like this philosophy that like sometimes when you do nothing, it actually brings you closer to what you want, which I think has the potential to be a bit problematic depending on the type of person who hears it. But the type of person that I am, I'm a workaholic. Like,
Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude.
I really love what it is that I do sometimes. So it's like I don't really know how to turn that off sometimes. But there's been times where, like, for instance, like if I'm like really stressing out about like a deadline or like getting like, I don't know, like if I'm like trying to get a package for something that's like for my business, I'll just go to bed, just take a nap, just be like, you know what? I'm stressing the fuck out. I'm just do nothing for like 30 minutes.
I think it's the best thing to recharge too, because you can't just be. I'm the same way, dude, and it's actually got me nervous because with this whole project in June in Jersey, it's 30 podcasts in 30 days.
Yeah.
I don't have a team. I don't have interns yet. Still looking
Yet.
but I'm basically gonna be putting out 360 pieces of content within 30 days.
Yeah.
So it's 30 podcasts, then 3 promos for each podcast, including all the pictures that I put up, and then also just trying to get it out there, and then also going to be like spending time like talking to everybody who's coming into the DMs. I'm trying to take weekends off.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take weekends off.
feel that.
But also just getting out and like really just like, I think doing nothing is really important too. Even I was in weird enough. I don't really get too depressed anymore. I don't really like get like down in the dumps like that. But it does happen, and it happens to everybody. I try to be as a positive vibe and like a light for people as well, even especially to myself. A light to myself when I look in the mirror. But I think it was like back in, actually, funny enough, I think this was February.
Really?
It had to be around February. February, it was like kind of like it felt like winter was being too long. You know what I mean? It felt like winter this year was really just not going.
Yes, sir.
And even like now, like we're technically spring heading into summer, and it doesn't really feel like, it doesn't feel like it at all. I mean, like today's rainy as shit. You know what I mean? And even the warm weather we get is disgusting. It's gonna be humid as hell to get out of this too.
There was a flood last night.
Was there?
Yeah, on 22.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there was mad cars that were stalled, and like they were really doing nothing. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But no, it's like I feel like at least in that ideology, when they say do nothing, it's more so like giving yourself the space to step away from the thing you would usually do.
Yeah.
It's more so that.
And especially when you love what you do. It's crazy. Me and Shane were literally just talking about this. I shot a podcast yesterday with my partner Aaron and Shane as well. Shout out Iron Audio too. And just talk about like, you've heard the phrase before, do work, like do what you love as work, and you'll never work a day in your life, right? Some like way to say that, right? And it's like, damn, it's like, well, if you're doing what you love every day and you're trying to get to the max level, it's like it's gonna be work too. There's gonna be times where it's stressful, and like you're gonna be fucking like tired out and gassed out.
Ain't that the truth?
And especially I was into social media management for a while, right? So I don't even like, bro, I've said this a million times before on podcasts, and it's funny. I hate social media.
Yo, fuck social media, bro.
Fuck social media,
oh my
bro.
gosh. If I
hate
could
this shit.
if I could just hand off my IG and my Twitter to like just some random average Joe, and then he could just go crazy with it and take photos of me, that'd be amazing. I fucking hate social media
Dude,
now.
it's crazy because I went on a journey this in January. I was doing it, and I quit all my jobs in January to pursue this full time, right? And I was like, damn, what side gigs can I do to make money? And so I got into social media management because like fuck. And I don't even know, as a person who hates social media and trying to run somebody else's social media as well, it was just like, all right, you're posting up like 3 times a day. You're trying to sift through their content, trying to make shit, and also it's such an emotional kind of dagger to you, sometimes where it's like you post up something that you think is so fucking fire, right?
And this shit gets like 12 likes.
12 likes, or 12 views, and you're like, fuck, like how do I make this better, But I actually think it's one of the most essential tools for any artist, for any band that's really trying to make it, unless you're putting full faith into your project, which is not bad. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I don't really like the thought of like ever letting a record label tell me what to do or anything like that. I don't know if was the record label more of a thing between you and Vibe World Order, or was it just mainly you?
It was a Vibe World Order deal and stuff. Word. It was I'll say this. I mean, we learned a lot from just like the ways of the industry and what it takes to really be a successful, act within the industry. Yeah. And it was definitely an eye-opening experience. To some, it was disheartening, but I mean, like, at least for me, when I look back at it, I just see it as knowledge. Like I took in everything that I could from it, but it definitely let me know which direction that I do want to go in from here.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
it was necessary in a way.
Nah, I feel like everything good and bad that happens is 100% necessary. I don't think there's another way to go about it. I mean, obviously, not everybody needs to learn the hard way, but I also think like learning the hard way sometimes is the best way to go about it. You know?
And it's still all love at the end of the day. I mean, it was honestly in the grand scheme of things compared to how like it could have went, how it goes for like a lot of other acts. It was a pretty positive experience. Like it was cool. Like they had resources for us that we couldn't find anywhere else at the time, and gave us money. you know. I mean, in some ways, but I think what it really came down to was that we expected them to take care of everything. Like it was on some like, okay, we're just gonna make the music, you take care of all the other shit. So it's like it was like a little bit of like misplaced faith, I guess, where it's like a label is just supposed to help you, guide you to your vision, not be like the sole person that's keeping you from getting to your vision. You know what I mean?
Nah, dude, I honestly know exactly what you mean. When I was going through college, I went to William Patterson, and I actually have friends. I actually interviewed a girl. Her oh my god, why am I blanking out on her name? But I had her, and she actually runs her own little music management company now. Sam Dion Management, bro. Shout out her. She's great, and she was actually talking about the industry and like what you have to do, and like she actually has some artists signed to like, her management. And I was telling her, I was like, all right, so like, what do you mainly look for before you start signing an artist? And then she would tell me, she was like, an artist that I would be, interested in is an artist who's already really well off managing themselves, that are consistently posting, that has everything organized. And it's not easy to get to that point when you have a big group,
Yeah, and analytics too. Like,
yeah,
bro,
super
analytics,
important.
data. That's the thing that really kept us from like getting a lot of opportunities, especially from like being from Jersey. It's just like,
ooh, talk to me about that, bro.
It really puts a damper on a lot of things. You got to be like twice as hungry to do a lot of shit that like a lot of like our friends over in New York. I'm not gonna say that like it comes to them. Matter of fact, no, fuck it. It does come to them easier. They live there.
Hey, yo.
No, I mean like, no, here's the thing. I got mad homies over in New York. They say all the time, they be like, yo, if y'all was over here, it'd be a different story. But it's like, I don't know. It's like we be over there like a large amount of the time. It's just that I see it as like a lottery. There's actually this one girl that like I'm pretty cool with. Her name is she goes by Lord Scorpio, and she's from Long Island, but she moved over to Brooklyn because she was like, yo, I'm gonna do it with this music shit. And we hung out and we just like chopped it up or whatever. And I saw her room. She has this big ass whiteboard, and it's like a calendar, and like every single day she puts something on there, like an objective. She's just like, oh no, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and it's something different for every single day. And it was something that would take me like 2, 3, even up to a week to get done, and she finds a way to get it done in a fucking day, like 24 hours.
That's crazy.
And it's very inspiring to see that, because it's like basically how she was explaining it to me. Long Island, you might as well just be from Union too, because it's like small spot. If you want to get something going over there, it's not like there's like necessarily a scene. You got to go where everybody else is at. You know what I mean? It's like, and the probability for something happening for you goes up and stuff. So yeah, being from Jersey, it's like I'm proud of it.
You know what? I'm fucking glad you said that, bro, because I'm super crazy proud to be from Jersey. I mean, that's why this whole June in Jersey like project, came about, because I really wanted to focus on entrepreneurs, models, singers, rappers, artists who are from Jersey, and like, represent it, and I think that I used to say a lot. I used to say that there's no love in Jersey. I think there's love in Jersey. They just don't know where to put it, because when you really look at what we have, and especially thinking about where's the place that you're gonna get the most amount of people to come together, it's either the big cities that you talk about, Newark, Patterson, I actually never been to Camden, but like even like on the shore, I mean everybody goes to perform out at Asbury Park, but that's a big rock scene, you know what I mean? So it's like where are we gonna get like a dope hip hop scene to come out? And I honestly think like I can't name too many places, and
Yeah.
when you name the places where you can't perform, it's like what we all gonna perform like hip hop.
I was about to say, yeah, it's gonna be like 10 acts. Everybody's gonna have a 2-minute set. Or some shit. Like, yeah, bro. It's just. I was talking about this with Shane too. I was like, if we had like a good like 2-3 solid venues, like within like this space, like within like Union, Irvington, Newark, like whatever. I feel like the scene the scene would bubble, like definitely. It would really get going, especially like after like a couple years.
I think this is the generation to break out. I might be biased because like like I'm around the age like I am this generation, but I think with the artists that I've seen that have been coming out, the ones who are traveling and everything, the ones who are actually doing big things from Jersey, I think there's a really really special wave coming.
Bro, it's happening. Like there's a lot of artists who's like really making it happen. Like Chris Patrick is a really good example.
Yeah.
Like I never met him personally, but it's like people won't shut the fuck up about him. He's so awesome, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like I've heard his stuff. Like he's doing really well. Samad Savage, we did a record together.
Yo, that's crazy because I want to try to get him on the podcast too and see like what's up with him.
Yeah, he's another one. He's really really awesome. He's cool. He's talented. He produces his own shit. And the thing that I like about Samad is that he just has this positive way. He just has. It's kind of like, I'm gonna use my words very carefully, but it's kind of like how like Logic has the whole like peace, love, positivity thing.
Yeah,
I feel like Samad is like actually that, but without saying it. Like he just does it and leads by example, but he doesn't do it within like a slogan. Like that's just naturally the aura that he gives off. He's just a naturally positive guy. But he'll fucking smoke you when it comes down to the bars too, if it really comes down to it. So he has that competitive spirit too. So yeah, he's doing big things.
I think.
Cool.
Do you think like there should be more of like a competitive edge to like Jersey and it coming out? Because I feel like. Yeah. Man, I mean, you think about like who's doing it the biggest right now in Jersey. I mean, I know there's that artist IVJ too, who's managed by I forget the name of the management group, but I know they do stuff with like Fetty Wap and all that stuff too. I know there's a lot of underground like filmmakers too in Jersey.
I actually didn't know that.
Get like a lot of love either. And that, like I said, I feel like more and more people are flocking to Jersey, but it's just there's no hub. To. And even you look in Montclair, the Wellmont Theater, right? Do you know that venue?
I know that.
That place got crazy. It looks crazy now. They just did renovations,
really?
And I think they just opened back up. I think earlier this year, or maybe it was like last year.
I would love to do a show at the Wellmont Theater.
It's crazy. It's crazy now. It's crazy. And even like I forget what people they had there, but I know Papa Roach performed there too.
What?
Yeah, dude. And actually, Sam Dion was running their merch stand.
Oh, that's so
theater
sick.
And shit, bro. Papa Roach was there. They're doing George Lopez has done shows there. I remember amazing. I saw DNCE when they were like popping over there as well. They're the ones who I keep on hoping there'll be cake by the ocean.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Joe Jonas and them. Oh yeah, also Jersey royalty, Jonas Brothers. They're from Jersey.
Word. You know what's funny? Funny story. I actually They're from originally from Wyckoff, right? Because their dad was a pastor in Wyckoff. And then they went through like financial troubles or whatever with the church and whatever, and they moved out to Little Falls, right? Yeah. Their little brother went to school with me at the elementary school, at school number 2 in Little Falls, right?
Fuck outta here.
And when they were releasing their first album, I played at the rec center, at our local rec center. There was like a basketball training camp or whatever. I'm trash at basketball, by the way. I'm trash. I went through camp, I did all these shits. I played all throughout like middle school. I was always trash. But I was in this basketball camp, and then I see this kid, and his name's Frankie. And it was their little brother, Frankie Jonas, right? Yeah. So I'm playing with this kid, Frankie, and my sister never came to any of my like practices or whatever, but she ended up coming up to this one, right? And I see her in the bleachers, and she's freaking the fuck out, right? And
Yup, yup.
I'm just like, yo, what's good with my sister? And then like Frankie comes up to me and he's like, I was like telling him, I was like, yo, why is my sister freaking out? He's like, yo, I forgot to tell you, like my brothers are kind of famous, and I didn't know who
Kind of is a
dude,
fucking understatement.
this was like right when they were they were like known, you know what I mean? But this was before like everything like came out and it was
Oh, okay,
crazy.
okay.
Because I think the album was like they're all standing in front of it. They're all in colored like black and white, and then it's the red and black stripes in the back. I think that was the cover of that album.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was like their first one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
The one that had Mandy on it.
Yeah. So like then we walk over to them and my sister's like freaking out, right? She's looking at them and then they stand up and then we introduce each other. They're all introducing themselves to each other and their mom, sweetest lady in the world. She's
really
like,
cool.
oh my god, thank you for being like a fan or whatever. She gave them like her assigned like EP copy because she was like, yeah, like we're like a little band or whatever. And like obviously I didn't know shit.
Little band is
Yeah,
crazy,
dude, bro. I didn't know shit about them, and I forget who it was, but I think it was Nick because I remember listening to one of their songs, and I thought one of them sounded like a girl. So
Probably
I looked
Nick,
at them and
yeah.
I was like, "Yo, which one of you are like the ones who sounds like a girl?" And they all start pointing at Nick, and they're like, "Yo, this guy." They were ripping him, bro. And like,
Yeah.
no, but that was really cool.
He was the youngest, so yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had still contact with Frank. If I contacted him, I was like, yo,
Bro, imagine
having him on the podcast would probably be a dream. That would be crazy.
Oh, bro, this shit, it would go through the fucking.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's cool though. Like, I remember growing up, like Jonas Brothers, Naked Brothers band.
Yo, Naked Brothers, man. Yo.
Yeah, well, they only made two albums, but I owned both of them shits. And Quasim, their guitarist, I did a show with him.
No way.
Yeah, I did a show with him. It was years ago. It was like 2018. It was like right before like I started chilling out with the solo shit. But yeah, I did a show with him, and I think a family member of his, like that I'm still like really good friends with. Yeah, he's a nut on stage. He is crazy. Like I think it's like his band is called the Juggernaut War Party, and they're just insane. Like how they blend music and like put it all together. It's unlike anything that I've ever heard. They're awesome. They're amazing.
So, what's your favorite Naked Brothers band song?
I'm not gonna say Crazy Car because that's what everybody else says. Honestly, I was just singing. It's a bit of a deep cut, but it's this song called I think it's called Tall Girls, Small Girls. And it's like, there are tall girls, small girls, small girls. There is every type of girl in the world. And then there's you. The melody is crazy. And then there's you.
Did you watch the show and shit too? Like completely, like full.
I was a full on Naked Brothers, Jonas Brothers. I was a fan of all the brothers. So I was like, bro, like all the brothers, fucking Wayne's brothers, all like, yo. If you were related, I was fucking with you, man. It's like family ties. But yeah, but I'd probably say Tall Girls, Small Girls, or like one of their more famous songs. I really love L.A. That song, like sunshine, happiness in Studio City. That's one of the songs where it's like if they could perform that as like grown ups and it would still sound amazing,
bro. Dude, if they ever had like a, if they ever go back on tour, if they ever do like a reunion concert, you down to go?
Yes.
I bet.
I'm buying 5 tickets. I'm buying 5 tickets, and 3 of them are gonna be for me. I'm gonna clone myself twice so that I can watch it 3 times.
I was
have different angles.
I was a very romantically obsessed like kid growing up. I don't know why. Like every movie that I watched, like I've always like was into love, you know.
Yo.
And I'll never forget the Naked Brothers song. It's like long distance relationships will kill you. Long distance, and he was like, "What's the girl's name? Rosalina."
Rosalina,
yeah, bro. And he's like, I think he was in a jail cell or something, and that was like the scene, like cowboy jail cell, whatever the fuck. And I remember seeing that, and I was like, "Yo, long distance relationships will kill you, dude. Like it's crazy." And in my mind, I just had this long distance relationship that didn't exist. You know what I mean? But
Bro, what was your first childhood crush?
Ooh,
I know mine.
Ooh, you know what? I grew up hella Latino. And I don't know, bro. I actually don't know if anybody will get this, but I remember one of my first childhood crushes. When I was little, we'd be watching telenovelas.
Yeah.
And there was just one telenovela, and it was called Ruby, right? And
Ruben,
it was
yeah.
about, I honestly don't know what it was about, but you know, being Latino and like these shows are so sexually charged, bro. Like they have these girls like half naked all the fucking time, and I'm just going through puberty, and like I don't know what the fuck I'm feeling.
Bricked up.
And like, bruh.
Bricked up. He was like, I don't give a shit about the plot. I'm fucking 12. I don't give a shit.
Bro, but that's how it would be. And I remember I told my parents, I was like, yo, like, I think she's like cute or whatever. And so my dad would always look at me and be like, yo, you watching Ruby? And bro, it would piss me the fuck off, partially because I hated being teased, but I was also like, yo, don't disrespect my girl with the all right? It's just a Ruby, all right? I would die for her.
You know what was my first childhood crush? It's mad funny. Lizzie McGuire, Hillary Duff. That was my first childhood crush ever. Like, and I couldn't. It got so serious because it was like I was like oddly possessive. I was like 4 or 5. I was like really possessive. I refused to watch the Lizzie McGuire movie because I knew she was gonna kiss a motherfucker in there.
That's crazy.
I was like, yo, like, first of all, nah, you in Italy, so why the fuck you not home? And secondly, who is this motherfucker?
And why is it not me?
Why you riding on the back of his? I mean, I know I'm 5 and I can't drive yet, but like, yo, you could wait 12 years real quick. Right.
Bro, if she gave you the chance to have 5, it's like at that point I feel like reality would set in because I would always be like, yo, I was little too, and I was watching this girl Ruby, and I was like, yo, if she came to my house right now and said get married, like I'll take care of her, I'll be a husband, I'll cook. I didn't even know how to make fucking cereal, bro. Like I was like stupid.
Yo, give me one Hot Pocket and I will burn the fucking house down, bro. You'd be like, this Hot Pocket goes into this microwave. You're gonna come back. You're gonna turn your back to me for 15 seconds. The whole house gonna be on fire. Be like, I don't know what happened.
You know what's crazy? I mean, I'm not trying to get weird here, but like,
Yeah, let's get weird.
At the same time, like, I feel like most of my, like, now that I'm like really actually thinking about it, most of my childhood crushes were not real. Like,
they were Kim Possible. Yeah.
We're going here, bro. Kim Possible, Teen Titans.
Oh yeah, Raven.
Bro.
You know, Starfire was alright, but she sounded way too like kiddish, like childish for me. Like I couldn't have an actual conversation with her. But
and
Raven,
plus, like she was smashing Robin, you know what I mean? And I was like,
yeah.
And I sorry, what? Robin, yeah. Sorry, I was fucking zoned out there for a second. But I was thinking, you know, I could be a Beast Boy, you know what I mean? And have those powers and shit, you know what I mean? Just like transform into anything, dude.
Honestly, I ain't gonna get too graphic, but there was this one joint that I seen that I came across on the internet.
I know exactly what
and
you're
it was
talking
Cyborg.
And Jinx, right?
This motherfucker had yo. All I'm gonna say is this motherfucker had 3 tentacles. And I was like, hey, yo.
I know exactly what
And
you're
why does this look like a real Teen Titans? Like the production value was like oddly high.
Whoever did that shit, bro, had way too much time on their hands. But I know they look back at that like how like maybe we look back at our music.
Oh no, I know they're proud of that.
Super
they had a voice actor that sounded just like Cyborg and Jinx. I was like, yo, who got paid? Did you pay the actual motherfucker?
That shit's wild, bro. I think that I don't know why I know this, bro. I do know why I know this, bro, because I looked into it.
I probably know it too. Yeah,
Newgrounds is like where that shit was coming out, that website, bro. And yo, Newgrounds is a weird place, bro. It had like a weird cartoon like hentai thing going on.
You could do whatever
shit,
on there,
bro.
honestly.
I remember they put some Teen Titans shit on there too, and I was just like,
honestly, that's how it starts, bro.
Yeah, dude.
They reach out to the kids through some shit that they already familiar with. They be like, hey, yo, check out season 12, episode 1 of Teen Titans. I was like, oh, 12? What? I didn't even know that they still going. All right, I'm going to click on this. You see some dick tentacles, you're going to be like, hey, yo, let's watch another one. And then now you watching fucking Marge Simpson. Nah, honestly, I ain't even going to hold you. Parodies, like those type of parodies.
Well, like real life action parodies, or
real
just like
real
the
life
cartoon ones?
More so real life.
Yeah, because I know they came out with some. It's so funny that we're talking about this.
They had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones.
Oh, I have never seen it. Like, you know,
low-key want to. I was still just a little bit too young, and I didn't have my first like card yet. So it's like, not saying that I would pay for no shit.
Oh,
like
yeah, word, never,
wink, wink,
never,
wink,
never,
wink.
never.
But if it came down to it, if it was like $2, I'd be like, Yo,
Yo, $2, bro.
$2, yeah, $2 for a fucking movie. This shit probably like 45 an hour long.
Mm-hmm.
That's a steal.
Hell yeah, they'll take care of you for a while, bro. I just need 2 minutes, bro.
No, no, honestly, bro. Yo, after the first 2 minutes, you get an actual like bag of popcorn, and then be like, "Hey, yo, this got an interesting plot."
Yeah, I'm here for the plot. I'm always in for the plot. You know, stuck in the sink, stuck in the washer. You know,
there's a lot of classics, bro.
It's like, oh, yo, I'm stuck. You know, turning the TV on. I'm like, I don't even know how that happens, but I guess I'm smashing. So it's
bro,
like,
yo, you know what's crazy? All right, this is a little bit off topic, but I remember there was this girl I was dating, right? And we got into like a bit of a debate that ended up making its way to the internet because I told her that when I was younger, I'm lying, I still do it from time to time. I would whenever like somebody was in the bathroom, I would just piss in the sink.
Like in the bathroom sink?
No, in the kitchen sink.
In the kitchen sink?
I mean, I would clean it up afterwards, but it was either the sink or the window. And I'm not going to expose my dick to the public like that. So I just piss in the kitchen sink.
And you still do it a little bit to this day?
Sometimes, yeah, I'm going to be honest.
So what was the debate? That if it's disgusting or not?
Yeah, she was like, people don't piss in the kitchen sink. And I was like, well, that's obviously not true because I'm a fucking person and I definitely do that shit.
Word.
And she was like, yo, you're nasty. I'm going to IG and I'm gonna put up a poll. She put up a poll saying like, yo, like, do you piss in the kitchen sink? Yes or no? And the shit was like 60% no, 40% yes. And she was
That's
like, who the fuck who are these people? And I was like, bro, it's just dude shit, you know?
I'm going to put this up as a poll when we release this episode.
Yeah, be like, do you piss in the kitchen sink?
Do you piss in the kitchen sink? Yes or no?
I mean, here's the thing though, because here's the thing that be fucking people up whenever I say it. People be like, hey, yo, you piss in the kitchen sink, you're nasty. They'd be like, no. I be drowning the sink in Pine Sol and bleach and all that other shit afterwards.
All right. That's a valid point. That's
exactly.
a valid point.
It's like I clean up the murder scene after I do it. You know what I mean? I don't just piss. And it's like I be moving the plates around and shit.
Okay,
it's
that was my next question.
Motherfuckers be like, hey, yo, you getting the piss on the shit that I eat with. And I be like, yo, the sink is clear when I do it. It's like, you acting like I'm just, hey, yo, this motherfucker. You got this mug. I'm a piss in your favorite mug or some shit like that. Like no, like I make space. I clean up after myself, and then I keep it moving.
You know what? I've heard a lot of different piss, like alternatives to when the bathroom is being used. For example, I know people who keep a bottle next to their bed if they want to pee in the middle of the night. If I need to pee in the middle of the night, I get up and I just go, bro. I've never been that lethargic where I can't just get up. You know what I mean? But the problem with the bottle next to your bed is that they keep it there.
Yeah.
And they keep using it. And then you just have this bottle of piss just marinating next to your bed, you know?
Now, next thing you know, you got your back next to the bottle. Next thing you know, next time you see it, it's going to start growing an eyeball or some shit.
Fact.
It's going to be like, Daddy? Imagine a bottle of piss comes up on you. It's like, hey, are you going to take me to school?
Bro, I think that would be worse of just having a bottle of cum.
Yeah. Honestly, but no. I'm going to say it like this. When the pandemic hit and I lost my job, they kicked me. I was like, hey, yo, I made a purchase that was going to keep me good for a while. I'm going to just say it like that. How
much you spent?
It was like $90. I customized it though.
You customized it?
I customized it though, yeah.
Was it like a
It was actually modeled after this one girl named Stoya the Destroyer, and you can customize the inside of it because there's patterns and shit.
Hey yo.
So I made a custom one, bro. That shit came in. It wasn't even like the way that they package it is interesting because they purposefully make sure that they don't title it no weird shit. So they'll just be like, oh yeah, B&G's company, whatever the hell. I opened that shit up in front of my brother. I was like, hey yo, you see this? Take a good look because this is the last time you ever gonna see this shit.
Yo,
ever.
I'm dead, bro. I have a funny story. My boy from college, right?
Yeah.
He had you know,
He had the thing. Yeah.
he had the thing, and he was also gay. You know what I mean? So it didn't like I was just wondering, and it was a pussy. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a, you know. So I was very confused. I'm like, bro, you gay? At least get an asshole one, I guess.
I was about to say, yeah, they definitely make the butts in the mouths.
Right. So like I was just like, fuck. And like he would always like brag about it or whatever, right? So my boy was rooming with him, right? And this man, savage, just keep it on his fucking desk, out in the open. Man doesn't give a fuck. It's college. No one gives a fuck, bro. And he would just keep it on, right? Here's the thing though. One day, I don't know what happened, but it got knocked over.
No.
Right? And you would think, you know what I mean? Clean after every use, right?
Yeah.
Nah, bro. you know the piss bottle I was talking about?
Yeah.
Bro, I shit you not, it fell over, right?
Yeah.
It fell over, and I remember, and I didn't know this story, right? And I was really drunk, and it was a party once, and I needed somewhere to fucking lay down, right?
Yeah.
And I go into this room, and it was my boy's room. I go in there, and I sit on the bed, and in college they have like it's like a elevated bed, right? So you have like a couple feet before, and I'm just dangling my feet, all cute, off the bed and shit. And I look down like where my feet is, and I was like, damn. I was like, that's a big ass stain on the floor, bro. Like it looked like the Nickelodeon, like fucking like bro, it looked like the Nickelodeon logo just on the floor without Nickelodeon, right? And there's like, like you when you get sticky stuff on the floor, you get little furs, like furry things like on it, little hairs like on the floor. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, this is fucking nasty, right? And then my boy comes in and then he's like, you know what that is? And I was like, nah. And then he just fucking pulls out his little fucking pocket pussy. And he's like, yeah, that's it. And I was like, bruh, and let me tell you, bro, it looked like it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And I'm just looking, I'm like, why didn't you clean this shit, bro? And I don't know what it is about college and fixating over trophies, right?
You gotta burn that shit.
But he saw it and he's like, nah, he's like, it's cool, right? I'm like, nah, it's not cool.
Nah, you gotta burn that shit.
Nah,
bro.
he's wilding, bro. He's wilding.
In a way, though, I will say that him trying to get like cool points for like fucking that, like from trying to get some cool points for some dudes is indeed, it does check out the him being gay part, So it's like, I get it.
Maybe he was trying to give me a signal, bro, because I was just like,
bro, buzzing in it and then leaving it
that's
as is.
That's
you gotta, I would set that shit on fire immediatbe I'd be like, I don't care.
There's no way, and it stank like you know what I mean? Like that shit stank, bro. Like how you like, you ever beat your shit? You know what I mean? And then like sometimes it just marinate a little bit before you go take a shower.
Honestly, yeah.
And then
sometimes
like that waft come back at you, or even after you done fucking and shit.
And then you're just like, what is this?
Word.
This is disgusting.
Word.
I don't even understand. Like, I feel bad for women sometimes, bro. I'm because it's like, bro, it was this. I talk about it with like somebody that I'm friends with and shit like that, and she'll be like, yo, dudes. First of all, I've been told that I have the best tasting one before because it's like, because I eat mad fruits and veggies and I always exercise and shit like that.
My boy.
So it's like I've been told that it doesn't taste like anything or it tastes like pineapple. But then like I've also been told like that I've had the best one because I don't smoke or anything like that.
Oh shit.
And she was like, yo, smokers be tasting like some bullshit, bro. It'd be like mad like Airheads. Like if you took like if you know the Airhead strips,
yeah,
and like when you take it out, there's like all that sourdough at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
If you took a handful of that and then just put it in your mouth, supposedly that's what the fuck it tastes like.
I mean, some people like the sour.
Yo, honestly, I feel it sometimes because it's like what they say about dudes and like eating girls out. It's like, all right, you could be straight out the shower, but it ain't gonna taste like nothing. I've heard dudes be like, yo, I need the after work. Like you just like 9 to 5 been sitting on your ass all day, probably farting shit. As soon as you come back home, I need that saltiness, bro.
How did we get here?
We was just talking about music 20 minutes ago. Now you're talking about, hey, yo, I'm just saying, shit's so fast, bro. That's the speedway, man.
Bro, I'll leave you one story before we because we're getting pretty close to the end of the podcast.
Oh, okay.
I'll leave you off with one story, and then I'll ask you a couple more questions as I can kind of get back into the music flow, and then we'll close out
the flow.
Funny enough, I think the first time that I ever busted in a girl's mouth, right?
Yeah.
Funny as shit, bro. We're doing our thing, right? I'm young, you know what I mean? It's like the first time, I'm getting shit together and stuff. Bro, she's doing her thing, and I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna just surprise her. Because, like, why fucking not? You know what I mean? I'm gonna just surprise her. So, I'm doing my thing, I bust. She was not expecting it. And then, obviously, I'm just like, she has her mouth. I'm like, yo, swallow it. And she's like, so she, like, when you're in the heat of the moment and shit. So she decides to do it, right? As soon as she does, she starts bawling out crying.
Yo, what?
Crying.
Honestly,
tears running down the face. And I was like, damn. And I was like, oh shit. I was
rough.
like, my bad, dude. And I was like, yo, what's the matter? And she's like, this shit tastes weird. And I was like, yo, part of it was like, I was also in the middle, like, it was like really like, I bust, you go into that like euphoria state and you're like, oh yeah, I'm the fucking greatest person in the world, right? And here she is and she's like, yo, this is not it, right?
It's
and
like,
I was like, bro, she was crying and I was like, yo, I'm so sorry. I was like, what can I do? Like, to make to like, like fix this. And she's like, yo, take me to Wendy's right now.
I've been thrown up on before.
No.
I'm not gonna hold you. It was kind of tight. I'm not gonna hold you. It was kind of tight. Yeah, I've been thrown up on before.
Hey, yo, chill, bro.
Bro, because here's the thing, right? So it was with the shorty that like we were fighting all the time. We low-key hated each other. Uh-huh. And but the thing is, like, we just got over like a really bad fight or whatever. And then like we went round after round after round after round. Like 7 rounds and playing West Side Gun throughout the whole shit, right?
Yeah, my boy.
And then like we fall asleep. It's the next morning. I'm like, hey, I want to take you to get some breakfast, because we're not fighting anymore. And then I take her out to get some breakfast. We go back to the bed, bro. I'm asleep. I'm going the fuck to bed, right? Uh-huh. And then I wake up and she's just in the mood, so she gets to it. Mm-hmm. And I'm about to finish. So I'm like, I have my head, I'm laid back, I'm looking up at the fucking ceiling, right? And then I was like, yep, all right, I'm getting there, about to finish. Mm-hmm. And then like I finish. I look down, the first thing I see are the potatoes that she had for the fucking breakfast. Are the potatoes. And then I look back up in complete shock. I was literally like, and then I look back up in complete shock. And then I was like, what the fuck did you do? I'm still not looking down. And she's like, I'm so sorry. She was like, you said don't. She was like, when I threw up, I was about to stop, but then exactly when I was beginning to pull back, you said don't stop. So I was like, I love this man, so I'm gonna keep going. And I was like, you know what? When you say it like that, that's tight. I love you. Thank you for doing that. So
that's love, bro. That's
so
love.
it was really not cool. Like the initial shock was like, yo, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. I got throw up in me, probably. And because you threw up like right on top of the. It was like, buh. I was like, yo, but nah, nah. That was probably one of the only times where I was like, okay, like you're like actually pretty cool.
Or she get the pass, bro. She get the forever pass, whatever.
Yeah.
My boy. All right, I got just a few more questions for you, bro, and then we'll close out the pod. Damn. I have a question. What was your greatest moment performing so far?
Battle of the Bands Afro Punk with my group VWO. Probably the the final round before we actually got to perform at the festival. That time was just so great. We had a bunch of people over there who cared about what we were doing. We only had one song out, so we were surprised that we even got in the fucking building to begin with. And the group, along with everybody else, we were so talented and like we really brought it that everybody in the final round performed at Afropunk. Like they were like, yo, we couldn't choose. We were like, yo, y'all too crazy. So like, I guess everybody's in the beginning when they did it in a really interesting way, the judges, because the band that won, they got a prize or some shit like that. They were like, oh yeah, this fucking Joe Schmoes won, and then we were all like, oh okay, all right. Like we were just happy that we got as far as we did. I wasn't expecting us to actually perform, but then they were like, we told y'all everyone is a winner. This entire round, we told y'all everyone is a winner, right? And then I was looking at it, I was like, the hell are they talking about? And then they were like, well, me and the judges have decided to come to the conclusion that y'all all performing at Afropunk. And we were like, we were crying. We was leaning on each other. We were like, what the? It felt like a movie, like the School of Rock contest type shit. So I was like, damn, this is kind of like my own School of Rock. This is crazy. So yeah, that's probably like one of the best performances that I can remember that we've done.
And what do you remember specifically from that performance, like the most?
Honestly, it was like everything that could have went right. We released an EP. We shot a video right afterwards, right after we won. If I'm not mistaken, we man, I had a lot of sex that night. Honestly, like Victoria.
This man, you just gonna bring it back?
I'm just because like, bro, like I just felt like I was on top of the fucking world. You know what I mean? I was just like, yo, this is amazing. Like this is the best I've ever felt. Like my mom was there. Like my whole family was there. It was great. My dad was there, and everybody was just so proud to like just be there. It was awesome.
That's sick. Yeah, I actually have talked to another performer too. His name's Winter Break. He's really dope. You should definitely check him out. There's no other feeling in the world like performing, dude.
Yeah.
Like getting that energy from the crowd, and when they're fucking with your shit and you're doing your shit, and then it's just like the roar, and you look out to the crowd and you can see everybody's vibing. You know what I mean? It's like, I honestly think it's better than any drug, any fucking like alcohol. Honestly, low key, I feel like it could even be better than sex.
Oh yeah, 110%.
You know what I mean? So like, I think that's fire, dude. I think that's fire. Second thing I was gonna ask, I got two more questions for you.
Yeah.
What do you think Jersey needs to become what we all hope and dream and want it to be, being like, you know, like a center for artists to come together, for us to like, you know, be known on the map, putting Jersey on the map? What do you think is lacking, or what do you think needs to be done?
Places, I think Jersey needs places where musicians can be amongst each other and just like appreciate music for what it is. So like whenever I say that, I think record stores, like more records. Like the only record store that I know is fucking Hoboken, like Tunes in Hoboken, and like Scotty's in Springfield, I think is where it's at. So yeah, record stores. Venues. We need venues.
Do you know any venues off the top of your head in Jersey that could like, you could even like put something at?
Honestly, if it ain't Wellmont Theater, it's the Meat Locker. And who trying to perform there?
Never again, bro.
Nah, hell no. That shit is, you know, I ain't even gonna talk shit.
They got their place in the circle of like, you know, music things, but like,
yeah, Meat Locker.
hip hop is not the thing at the Meat Locker,
no,
bro.
no.
Can't.
So yeah, more venues and more like record stores, and just it's probably what I would say is what Jersey needs. Just like hubs and places where people could just be at and just do what they do. Maybe more recording studios. But if anything, nah, fuck that. Come to Glower. That's why we here in the first place. Come to Glower Studios in Boonton. Blam. Just
Appreciate you, bro. Much love. All right, dude. I got one more question for you. If you could talk to yourself at the lowest point when you were in this Jersey, in Jersey, in the lowest point when you were in this journey, where you think you're about to give up and throw it aside, what advice would you give yourself?
Imagine if you went to college. Imagine if you were going through all this and you still had to worry about like student debt. Then I would have probably actually been like, you know what? Yeah, I'm out of here. So, every time I think, I'm just like, you know what? It could always be worse. Like, I could be homeless. I could be in like crippling debt. I could have a child. Like, it's just all this other stuff. It's just like, if I could talk to myself at my lowest point, I would probably have a joke somewhere weaved in there, and the joke would probably be, damn, you feel like this. Imagine if you went to college. And then I'll be like, you know what? Yeah. Like, my lowest point would be like, you know what? Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think I'm chilling now.
Feel that, my boy. Yo, Reg Mason, thank you so much for coming on the pod, bro.
Yo,
like,
thank you for
it's an
having me.
absolute blessing. I didn't know how today was gonna go, but I'm completely awake, bro, and I'm absolutely blessed to have you. And like, I can't wait to see what other things you do, and like, in collaboration with Glower, dude. Let the people know where they can find you. Anything that you want to shout out, or any projects you think that you want to, announce here or anything. So now's the time to do it.
Okay, well, first things first is one of three things. I just released a live, like a studio version of my NPR Tiny Desk submission that was actually recorded here. And it's on Spotify, Apple Music, all that. And after you listen to that, listen to my album, Speedway Deluxe. I'm trying to get it. I'm actually, this is world premiere here. I really want it to get 100K, like, total streams. Right now I'm at 73,000. So it's like, if I could do that before like my birthday in July 12th, that's when I turn 23. If I get to 100K, I'll drop the new record right then and there.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, people.
And then one last thing, I'm also making a new band. I'm not going to say the name yet, but I'm making a new band, and it's just really great. I'm going to go into the rock category, like the punk stuff. Sweet. And I'm really excited for y'all to hear that. So that's what's coming next after I'm done with Speedway.
Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to hear it. Can't wait to do another interview, another podcast with you, talking about everything that's going on with that. Where can the people find you? Insta, Spotify, YouTube?
Oh, yeah. Well, for Insta and Twitter, I'm at Reg K Mason, REGKMASON. And then for Spotify and stuff like that, make sure to search up Reg Mason, REGMASON, and then bump Speedway. Please. It's an amazing record, and I know you'll like it.
Bet, my boy. And y'all already know the business, guys. It's Ayo Chill Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and we just released our OnlyFans as well. We don't have anything out. We have nothing on there. But if you are the first person to subscribe to our OnlyFans, you'll get a free sticker and a picture of my foot. All right, guys, that's really it. Reg, thank you for coming through to the studio again, bro. Let's get the fuck out of here, bro.
Of course.
Blam. Ah, boy, bro. Fucking great. Yo, that's great. How'd you like it? It was great. Awesome. Fuck yeah, dude. I didn't even feel too long. Yeah, dude. Like, we fucking almost did 2 hours, dude.
Hey, yo, I just want to add this. I just want to add this real quick. Is it still going?
Yeah. Still going. Let it
I can't hear myself for 2 seconds.
Oh, shit.
Can you hear yourself?
Wait, hold on. Go ahead.
Check.
No. You
hear me?
You good.
Okay. So I just want to mention one more thing. I'm also putting out merch for my EP or album, Speedway Deluxe. We got some extra Speedway vinyls. We're going to do probably some Speedway CDs, Speedway tees. And you could search that up at regmason.com. Well, regmason.bigcartel.com. And we're going to have some merch for you. If you get a Speedway vinyl, you're going to get 2 Speedway stickers, which is the cartoon of me holding the balloon and stuff like that. So, like, if you like the album and you want to buy it and support me, make sure to go to regmason.bigcartel.com and get you a Speedway vinyl. All right, thank you so much.
Facts. Let's go, bro. That's what's up, man. Now the podcast is over. Speedway!
He went.